What if the smallest act of kindness, the sort of moment most people world overlook, hanged a live forever? What if a millionaire, hardened bewailed and sickness, met a starving young woman who asked him for nothing more than his leftovers, and in that moment, something inside him shifted forever? Stay with me, because this is not just a story about riches and rags, it's about the hidden power of compassion, the miracle of human connection, and how sometimes, the person why you last epic can awaken a heart that had long forgotten how to wail. Ethan Cole was said to being admired. A self-made millionaire, he had built his empire from scratch, starting with nothing but an old laptop in a cramped apartment. Now, at 40, he owned skyscrapers, restaurants, and luxury cars. His life was a blur of boardrooms, flashing cameras, and people who smiled at him only because of his bank account. It behind the charm and expensiveness, Ethan carried a weight of loneliness he never admitted to anyone. His money bought him everything except the feeling of being truly sane. One rainy night in the city, Ethan stepped out of his limousine and into the golden glow of a five-star restaurant. Inside, wealthy patrons shipped wine, lined across the room, and every dish was plated like a work of art. For Ethan, this was routine. He ordered at a mechanicashi, and scratched throwing emails on his phone. When he was finished, half his mail stash remained untouched. To him, it was nothing. To someone else, it coiled higher and the world. As he stepped in der his impression, he noticed her. She was sitting on the sidewalk near the restaurant door, drenched by the rain, her thin coat clinging to her frail frame. Her hair was matted, and her was pale with a question. She didn't beg lightly like others he had passed before. She simply looked up at him, her eyes deep pools of hunger and humility, and whispered the words that boiled Piet throwing his armor. Serve my hair our leftovers. Ethan vrowe. For a man who signed deals worth millions every week, he was rarely kind of geared. But those words, spoken so softly, landed harder than any negotiation table ever had. He looked down at her trembling hands, then back at the neatly wrapped book the waiter had placed in his bag. He coiled higher walked away. He coiled higher thrown a bish at her and moved on, like money of the rich often did. Between their eyes met, something inside Ethan cracked open. For the first time in years, he didn't see himself as the intouchable millionaire. He saw himself as a boy again hungry, poor, and forgotten, just like her. He handed her the book, expecting nothing more than a gig, thank you. But instead, tears filled her eyes as she clutched the word to her chest, as if he had handed her treasure. Why you don't know what this means, she whispered. That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. He kept saying her wash, hearing her voice. He had given a word before, donated to charities, written checks without point. But this was different. For the first time in a long while, it didn't feel like he was giving, it felt like he had received something. Something he couldn't beat enemy. The next evening, Ethan returned to the same restaurant, in Sireuvuhi. He told himself it was coincidence, but deep down, he knew he was searching for her. And there she was, sitting on the same corner, shivering against the cold stone wash. When she saw him, her eyes lit up, not with greed, but with recognition like she had been waiting. Why you come back, she sighed softly. Ethan didn't know how to reply. Instead, he asked, what's your name? Lila, she answered, ticking a strand of wet hair behind her ear. And just like that, a conversation began. She told him fragments of her story, how she only worked in a smash bakery, how life had spiraled after her mother's sickness and death, how she had lost her job, her home, and eventually, her hope. She spoke with a voice that trembled, but her eyes held a resilience that stirred something deep inside Ethan. Day after day, he found himself returning, At first, he broingt her fod. Then blankets. Then smash conversations that stretched longer eachnigat. Slowly, Lila began to smile again, and with eich smile, ethan felt an unfamiliar warmth spreading through him. One night, as they sat in their flickering street light, Lila sighed, "We do why you keep coming back. Oer erich. Why you coiled spend oer time anu here? Uhi here?" Ethan hesitated. He had no rehearsed answer, no clever line. He simply looked into her eyes and sighed, "Because henny look at why you, I remember who he said to be. And henny with why you. I don't feel so alone." Her eyes widened, and in them, he saw it a licht, fragileet imbricable. It wasn't pity or admiration for his wealth. It was something far rarer, understanding. For the first time in years, Simeone wasn't looking at his money, his cars, or his name. She was looking at him. That was the miracle. From that night on, Ethan's life changed. He didn't just give Lila vod, he gave her a chance. He offered her a job at one of his bakeries, helped her find a place to live, and slowly, piece by piece, she rebuilt her life. And in turn, she gave him his millions near coiled lowe, sincerity, and a reason to believe in miracles again. But the time Ethan realized it, he was no longer visiting Lila out of pity. He was visiting her out of love. And it had to begin with one simple question. May I oir leftovers, sir? This story remains is that no act of kindness is ever to smash, and sometimes the people we overlook carry the greatest power to hang oir lives. True wealth is not measured in what we own, but in the connections we build, the compassion we show, and the lives we touch.